So I had 2 requests for returns from my eBay shop this week. I thought I was going to make it all the way through the month of June without having any returns at all, but here we are. We got 2. And so far, neither of the buyers has shipped these items back. So it's possible that I won't get the return back and I won't have to do any refunds or anything, but we'll see. I I offer free, no questions asked, 30-day returns. This is it's one of the requirements to get a top-rated seller plus, top-rated plus, top-rated seller plus, whatever they call it on eBay. It's a way to get that status, which gets you some small benefits. Essentially, you get like slightly lower final value fees and some other things. I just kind of do it because I like the idea of it. I like being considered a top-rated seller. So I offer 30-day free returns. That means I pay the return shipping. So there are well, there's a lot of different reasons why somebody might want to send a return according to eBay, but they mostly fall into 2 categories. So those are a buyer's remorse reason and basically an item not as described reason, something that I caused. And if the reason that the buyer who wants to do a return chooses to send it back to me falls under one of the buyer's remorse categories, so that could be I ordered it by mistake, or the shoes didn't fit, or I just don't like it. These are some of the options. I don't have to refund the original shipping that the buyer paid for me to send the item to them. I'm offering free returns, but that doesn't mean I'm covering the original shipping cost. So that's one thing. I prefer, obviously, if people choose a reason to send it back, that falls on them, because if it's something that if they say item not as described, or that I did something wrong, even if it's not true, they they will receive 100% of the money that they paid back. So I will have to pay to ship that item back to me. I will also have to refund the cost of the item and the cost of the original shipping to get it to the buyer. So the two returns I have this week, both of them have said item not as described. One of them is possible. It's a hat. The buyer is saying that there's stains on it. I don't recall seeing any stains on it. I have a suspicion that he got the hat and found out that it's like canvas colored and not bright white, and he's thinking that's a stain. I'm not sure. The other one is this guy bought 2 items from me that were brand new in the box. I think he probably thought he needed 2 of them. That's like garage door opener parts. And then when he got them, realized he actually only needs 1, because he's requesting just to send back 1. And the reason he is requesting that is item not as described. He's saying it doesn't work, which it's still in the box. It's never even been opened. So it definitely works. But I have no recourse. If a person says item not as described, I have to give them back all of their money. That's just how it works. Okay, so there is a little secret trick, though, that I don't see talked about much on eBay, anywhere on eBay. And it's something called an RMA number. So even though I offer automated free returns, if somebody says, I want to return this, it's automatically approved by eBay, then they send me a message. If I didn't have this little feature turned on, I'm about to tell you about, the RMA number, they would immediately get a return shipping label, and I would just be out of it completely. I would pay for that return shipping label, they would ship it back to me, and then I would refund them their money. But with this RMA number, there's like a little bit of a slowdown right in the middle, where I am told a person wants to send this return, and then it's been approved, and then it's up to me to send the label. And that's because I have turned on RMA number for returns. So what it stands for, RMA, is Return Merchandise Authorization Number. So it's really designed for big companies that need to assign a specific number to a return. Maybe there's a return shipping clerk that's going to handle this deal, and they need to know exactly what they're getting. So you can, before shipping the label, you can assign this number, make it whatever you want. It's basically a blank line. You can put anything in there you want. And then I think that number is then printed on the shipping label. I'm not worried about that. I don't use it that way. I just use it to just to put a little roadblock in the way so that somebody requests a return to me because of the RMA number. eBay tells me this return was requested. It's up to you to approve it. I mean, it's been approved, but it's up to me to then send the shipping label. And it's a simple matter of just stepping out. I mean, clicking a button that says send the shipping label. You know, it's a really easy thing to do. But because of this RMA number, I have to go through this extra step. And that gives me the opportunity to reach out to the buyer and come up with some sort of a compromise that doesn't involve returning the item. So in this case, the guy received this hat. He said it has stains on it. I don't think it has stains on it. Maybe I'll get it back and I'll find out that it does have stains on it. I'm not sure, but I don't think so. But that gave me a chance to reach out to the buyer, say, and I don't do this that often, but it is an opportunity to do this if you want to. I went to him, I wrote to him, and I said, I'm sorry that you weren't satisfied with the hat. If you would prefer to keep it rather than sending it back, I'd be willing to offer you a 50% refund. That way I can send him the partial refund. He can keep the hat. We don't have to mess around with shipping things back and forth. This is, this hat I paid 20 cents for or whatever, 30 cents for it. I sold it for $30. If I give him back 15, I'm still coming out ahead. He's happy. Everybody's happy. In this case, he did not respond to that message, so I just went ahead and sent him the shipping label. But like I said earlier, I have not seen that this hat has been shipped back to me, and I have not seen that the garage part has been shipped back to me either. So let's see, where do you go on eBay to turn on the RMA button? If I can figure out how to do it, I will show you right now, or I'll walk you through it. So I usually go to any listing that I have available, active listings, and this is on a PC, not on a phone. I don't think there's an option to do this on a phone. I don't know if you can hear Pineapple. He's down here. There's some rainstorm. It's not even a storm. It's just barely even sprinkling, and he's going crazy. Come on, come on, come on. Here he is. Come on, this way, bud. Pineapple. Come on, come on. Let's go lay down. Come on. I brought him down here with me to try to keep him calm, but he's in the bathroom here digging like crazy, and I can't have that. So I'm bringing him back upstairs. I'll be right back. I might have to cut this short and take him for a little car ride because that usually seems to calm him down. But right now I'm going to show you how to find this RMA setting in case you haven't got it. And this is probably not the best way to do it, but this camera pointing at the screen, that's how we're going to do it. So I usually would go to my eBay, and then the easiest thing probably to do is search this page for the word preferences, but I know where it is right here. But your page might look slightly different. So mine is right here in the middle under this shortcuts section. I'm going to press site preferences, and then that should go directly to selling preferences. You have all these other preferences here in the left hand column, like you have shipping preferences, seller disclosures, all kinds of stuff here. But you're looking for return preferences, hit edit all the way over here. And then this second section, this is where you set up your return request. Like this is the way you tell eBay if you want to do 30-day money back guarantee, or if you want to do buyer pays for returns or whatever. You can set that up here under this button. But right underneath that section in the second line, it says RMA number. Give me the option to add an RMA, return merchandise authorization, to each return label, and you want to turn that on. That's basically it. You switch it off or switch it on, and I highly recommend you switch it on. It just gives you a little slowdown in the process of handling returns. You might be able to contact the buyer. perhaps they bought an electronics item from you and they're having trouble with it. You might be able to reach out and say, well, did you plug it in? Did you unplug it and plug it back in again, or whatever? You might be able to talk them through a tech problem, or you might come up with some sort of a compromise, like I was talking about earlier. Maybe a partial refund. Maybe the item isn't even worth, like the shipping might cost more to get it back to you than the item is worth. So in that case, you might just say, I'll refund your money, and you can just keep the item. If it's broken, whatever, you don't want it back. So turn on the RMA number. That's going to save you a lot of trouble, potentially, or give you the option to save yourself some trouble. So, all right, we've got 4 orders tonight. I'm going to get through them as quickly as I can because I do think I'm probably going to have to take that dog for a ride. So let's get to it right now. Okay, I pulled these 4 orders already, so we're going to get right to packing them as soon as I update my tally board over here. So today's Tuesday, it's June 24th. We're getting towards the end of the month. And on Monday we had 4 sales. So we'll add those on here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll just keep going like this. All right, these 4 orders, a couple of them are pretty much packed already and ready to go. And then the other one would be a nice, simple pack. The other one would be, I don't know, relatively simple. So let's start with that one. It's this purse. It's a purse and a wallet and I'm not sure what you call this, a wristlet maybe. It's clipped in here, and you can unclip it and then put it around your wrist, I guess. That's the point of it. I got this at the Goodwill. I had this brand is called Daisy Rose, and this is definitely I wouldn't say it's a bootleg Louis Vuitton, but this is definitely based on a Louis Vuitton pattern. Very similar to this anyway, in color and just the basic checkerboard. I had a wallet, a Louis Vuitton wallet that I sold to a coworker of mine. That was that pattern. I can't remember the name of it right now. But when I saw that, I thought, well, maybe she would like this, even though it's not the official Louis Vuitton product. Maybe she would want this purse to go along with it. It was only, I think it was $7, $6.99. So I would have called it $7.70 cost of goods. I brought it into work, asked her if she wanted it, and she said not really, so I decided to go ahead and try to sell it. I thought it would be worth about $70 or $80, but it has, I don't know if you can see this, it has this pink mark here, which is either from a marker, or I have a suspicion that it's from dyeing the edge of this leather. That whoever made this got a little pink splash there, and there's another little pink line on the inside, so I thought I could probably get a pretty good amount of money for this, 70 or 80, I was hoping. But with those flaws in it, I just listed it for 40. I think I listed it for $42.99, and then I got an offer today for $35, and I only have $7 invested in it, so why not take $35 and get it out of here? It's only been listed for a couple of days, maybe 2 or 3 days. I think I bought it early May. This is not going to fit in here. I got it in early May, like May 9th. This one. This one will do it. So, pretty quick sale. I think I probably had it listed 3 or 4 days. Let's see. Listed it a little bit longer than that. I listed it on June 17th. It's the 24th now, so what is that, 7 days? 1 week? It took me a long time to list it because I brought it to work to ask her if she wanted it, and then it took me a while to get around to listing it because I didn't know if I wanted to. With those flaws on it, I thought I might end up not selling it at all. But I guess if you just disclose the flaws and lower the price, you do okay. You know, $35 on a $7 cost of goods is not too bad. I guess by the time we're done, I'll probably make $19.90 on this, $20. I don't know what shipping is going to be. This is a kind of a large box. Okay, I'm going to write on here purse. I'm going to move this computer out of the way. Get this on the scale. 2 pounds, 7 ounces, so 3 pounds. I need this mat back where it belongs. 18 by 14. This is going to be 6 or 5? 5. 18 by 14 by 5, and the buyer's initials are SB. This is going all the way to North Carolina. All right. The next item is down here on the floor. I'm not going to open this. I've already packed this up. I will get it. I will post a picture from the listing of what's inside here. It's a really, really big stuffed animal of a husky dog with a little baby dog in its arms. I just pulled this out from the garage. It's too big to keep in the house. So I crushed I tried to put this, I put this dog in a bag, and I pressed all the air out of it and then put it inside this box. And since I did that, I can see it's expanding a little bit and trying to burst these seams. So I'll put a little extra tape on here just to make sure it stays closed. This is almost certainly going to have to go FedEx because of the size. I'll find out when I'll find out once I enter all of the info into eBay. But I already have the size and the weight. But that sounds high. 10 pounds. I can't see it. 9 pounds, 14 ounces. So yeah, 10 pounds. It doesn't feel like 10 pounds when you lift it. It feels much lighter than that. But I need to put the buyer's initials on here. BM. Uh-oh, BM. This is going not far, Minnesota, but the shipping that the buyer paid is pretty high. It's like he paid $35 for the item and $34.58 for the shipping, so I hope I'm not paying that much for the shipping. All right, what's next? All right, I've had these hats for a pretty long time. I kind of forgot I had them. I went to a yard sale. This is when May 17th of 2024. I was at a yard sale. He had a big, like one of these kind of tubs, these big black and yellow tubs that was filled with hats. And I pulled out a couple. I saw they still had tags. The first one I searched was a pretty valuable one, like a $80 or $90 hat. So I just made him I just asked him if I could buy the whole lot. How much if I bought everything. And I think he told me $60. And I think there were like, I don't know, close to 200 hats in there. So, yeah. In the end, I paid 58 cents per hat once I got them home and I sorted them all out. And like I said, some of them were very valuable, like over $100, over $90, over $50. And some of them were not worth anything. Like these are just like generic hats that just say Chicago on them. Some of these, you know, maybe this is worth something. Isle of Capri Casino. But look at these real vintage ones with the foam. A lot of these airbrushed ones you would have gotten on vacation on a boardwalk or whatever. So all of the ones that were worth selling on their own, I kept them. separate and sold them individually or listed them individually. They haven't all sold yet. And then I came up with like 3 or 4, I think 3 big lots like this that would fit in the boxes that I had. The first lot sold almost immediately. It was a bunch of hats that had like crude slogans on them. I think they were all like boardwalk Miami Beach hats from the 1980s and maybe into the 90s. Anyway, they were. I listed the title. I listed them with the title "Dirtbag Hats," and sold them right away. They went to Japan, where I assume someone is going to put them in a store, America store or something like that. This box is just a little bit too big, so I'm putting some more bubble in here. So yeah, that first lot I sold for like, I don't know, $80 or $90. So I more than made my money back immediately on the first sale, and I have sold many of those single hats for $10, for $20, for $60, $80, up to $100. So yeah, I sold a lot of hats out of that lot, and I don't remember this. I thought this was long gone, but these hats just sold today for how much? $53.99 plus shipping. They're heavier than you might think. These boxes are unusual. I get these boxes from work, and they come with books in them, and they're not made like standard boxes like you see. So I am taping it as much as I can because I don't trust them completely. Okay. So this was a lot of 27 hats for $53.99. So, I mean, worst case scenario, I paid 58 cents per hat times 27, whatever that is. 50 maybe. I don't know what that comes out to, but, well, yes, I do. I'll tell you what I decided I paid. Maybe it wasn't 58 cents. That might be a different lot. They might have been like, they could have been like like 0 point. I can't remember. I think they were like 50. Maybe they were 5.8 cents. It doesn't matter. I put on here in my notes that I spent $9.72 on these hats. That box weighs 6 pounds, and it should be 20 by 15 by what? This might go FedEx too, but I think not. By 9. I think these boxes, whoever produced them, made them exactly the size that you can ship them through USPS without the oversized surcharge. So we'll find out in a minute. They may or may not go through FedEx. Okay, I don't need that. I think I need to order more of these. This is my second to last one of these 8x8x8 boxes, and they are pretty handy. Like, I use them more often than some other boxes. So I'm usually able to get boxes from work, smallish boxes like, this kind of size, 5x6x4 or whatever, and they're handy. But then they come with the hassle of taking up a lot of space because of they're not folded up and they're not all the same size. But anyway, my access to those has been drying up because I think my friend at work, who's also been selling some stuff on eBay, started taking them. So we're at a war. We're at war there for the boxes, I guess. This is a Liberty Falls. I should have shown you, I guess. It's like a little ceramic house, like village. You know, it's like a Christmas village, but not necessarily Christmassy. Most of them are much smaller, like only like, they come in boxes that are like 3 inches cubed. I have a ton of them. There was a estate sale that, let's see, they had these kind of crates. Bring this back in there. These kind of crates that like vegetables come in. They're like not as heavy duty as milk crates, but still pretty substantial. Anyway, it was like buy a crate for $5, fill it with whatever you want. And so in the basement, they had hundreds and hundreds of these Liberty Falls houses, which I normally would not be interested in because they have a very slow sell-through rate. But since I was going to be buying them, you know, I pay $5 and I could fit 60 in here, 70, I don't know. They were very cheap. And they do have some kind of sales history, so I bought them. The bigger, nicer ones I listed individually, and then the others I just put in big lots to say like 58 houses for $58 or whatever. I haven't sold that many of them. I've sold a few of these larger ones. I haven't sold any of the lots. I think I have 3 lots like that. And this has been sitting around for quite a while, since let's see, since when? 2023, December of 2023, I've been sitting on these. So I'm contemplating a garage sale in the next few weeks. And I think I will put them out there for $0.25 a piece and see if people will bite. But I did sell this one for 20 bucks. I estimated cost of goods on this as 32 cents, and I sold it for $19. Liberty. 2 pounds. 9. Okay, that's the 4 orders. This is going to SZ. That's the 4 boxes all packed up. I'm going to buy the shipping labels and come back, and then we'll talk about exactly how much money we made on these items. Okay, we're back. I have printed the labels and stuck them on the boxes. It cost over $50 on labels on these boxes tonight, so it was pretty expensive, and one of them I undercharged quite a bit, so I'm a little bit lower than I expected to be for today's profits. So let's go through these. The Daisy Rose purse, the little sort of knockoff Louis Vuitton, I paid $7.70 for it, sold it for $35. The buyer paid $8.16 for shipping. eBay fees were $5.80. The actual label cost $7.16, so that brings us to a profit of $22.50. That giant stuffed animal, husky with a puppy, we earned $25.08, and that will definitely go to FedEx. So the buyer paid over $34 shipping, and it costs just under $30, so not really that far apart. I was hoping it would be like $16 and I would be able to keep that overcharge. And then the hats, this is the one where I only charged $7.22 for shipping, and the shipping cost was $14.87, so more than double. Yeah, more than double. It's over $7. So on that deal, I only earned $28.63, and that dropped my profit down below $100, so that sucks. Finally, that Liberty Falls little village house earned more than I would have thought, $27 and $16.39. $27 gross, and then $16 profit. So that gives us a profit for today, June 24th, of $92.60. dropping our daily profit average in the month of June down to $107 from $108. So it's down to 107.38, and then profits per sale $26.30. So not the worst day we've had, but not the best day either. I'd be happier if that number was over 100, and I'd be even happier if it was at 150. And I'd be happier still if I didn't have to deal with these 2 returns. So keep that RMA number in mind, and come back tomorrow for another packing video. Good night.